Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to the Hot Stocks Outlook for April 21st, 2017. Hope you're all having an excellent week in the markets. Now, we have some really great opportunities to take a look at some individual stocks here. We've got Stratasys, a 3D printing company, a couple of financials, real estate investment, JM Smucker here. So a lot of great opportunities in individual stocks. And this is a great time to look at these things because, the S&P 500 has been completely flat. So you really have to find those individual stocks that are going to go up or go down where there's some really profitable opportunities there. So we'll go ahead and start here in Stratasys here. And what we were able to see is we've actually gotten a crossover between our predicted moving average, this blue line generated via the artificial intelligence in the VantagePoint software, and then this black line, just a regular simple moving average. So we're able to see all the way at the beginning of April that says, look, Stratasys is going to start trending higher. Look to start taking those positions. And as long as that predicted moving average, that blue line remains above the black line, this market is still forecasted to move higher. Now, in addition to that, you're going to notice we have this 1 and 0 at the bottom of this indicator here. Now, this indicator at the bottom of the chart that you see here is the predicted neural index, and it also utilizes that artificial intelligence and neural networks of the software. But this indicator is really a 2-day or 48-hour indicator. So it's really looking 2 candles, essentially 48 hours ahead, very short-term strength or weakness in the market, so you can understand what to expect as a trader. So we see in Stratasys here, we'd gotten this crossover to the upside. It says, go ahead, get involved in this market to the upside. And the market's moved up about 19% since that forecast came through. But what we're going to notice here is, when that neural index goes down to a 0, you may get that sideways action or weakness over the next couple of days. But as long as that blue line remains above the black line, you know that the trend is still intact. Once all that lines up again, you can see a lot of strength in these trades. So, since that forecast came through, about 19%, $20, now trading up near $24 a share. So, 1,000 shares, you're making, $3,500, $4,000 on a single opportunity there just in the month of April here. Now, let's go ahead and move forward to some of these financials because we talked about this in previous videos. You can certainly go through the playlist and watch some of those previous Hot Stocks outlooks. But we talked about BB&T and some of these other financial companies. Here in US Bancorp, we got a crossover at the beginning of March here saying, look to start shorting this market. If we look at the S&P, you see that's where a lot of the weakness started to set into the S&P 500. But neural index strongly there to 0 saying, look to go ahead and start shorting the market. And again, you want to keep this simple. The software is really doing a lot of that heavy lifting under the hood there. But as long as that blue line remains below the black line, which we see that it has, you want to go ahead and maintain that position. It's telling you that there's, the trend is essentially down. This market down over 10%. And we've seen that in a lot of these financials really across the board, having similar forecasts because these markets have in fact moved lower. If we take a close look at this, you see, when you get these trends lower and this neural index down at a 0 here, you really get this excessive weakness in the market. And the last thing you want to be doing is trying to get long. Certainly want to have some puts or taking some short positions when these forecasts come through and forewarn you of that weakness in the market there. So great opportunity there, about 10%. And we'll see how these markets shake out over the next couple weeks and as these trends continue. Here in HCP, so a real estate investment trust here. So here you've gotten a crossover to the upside, blue line over black line. So that predicted moving average over the simple moving average saying the trend is now up. You see your neural index very strong, really over the course of this entire trade, aside from, really this sideways action that you'd gotten here for a couple of days. But the trend still strongly to the upside. So traders can go ahead and take those positions getting long the market. And we see that this market so far about 8 or 9% to the upside. But what I really want to demonstrate here is, VantagePoint is utilizing that type of artificial intelligence to generate, your trend direction with your predicted moving average. So, hey, up or down, do you want to be long or short? You've got that 48-hour forecast, so that 2-day short-term strength or weakness. So not to get emotional, not to freak out when there's some short-term strength or weakness in the market. But you also actually get a predicted high and low candle for each trading day, really letting you know where intraday you should expect that market to trade. And so if I go ahead and I bring up our predicted high and low levels, you can see how accurate these predictions are. So when you know the market's in an uptrend and you've got that strength from the neural index, you can buy at these predicted low levels, and you see how exceptional these levels hold up to get you really great entries into the market. So you really know what your expectations should be, where you should look to be a buyer within an uptrend of a market that's moving higher and higher as that trend continues. So really nice opportunity there, about 8 or 9% on the total move, but obviously a lot of more money to be made as a shorter term trader buying at these predicted lows and taking profit as you get those bounces in the market there. So let's go ahead and move forward to JM Smucker here. So a really big company here, but we see that a lot of these companies, we've gotten these crossovers to the downside. We've seen a lot of weakness in some of these bigger companies, and there we've seen it in the S&P 500, but crossover to the downside here, and just look how weak the neural index is. So, the last thing you want to be doing as a trader is, getting out of your short position somewhere around here. Even worse would be trying to get long the market over this period of time here, because, you're going to get these gaps down in this market, this really violent move lower. So far, the market down over 9%. So, if you have some put options there, you're just making a ton of money realizing that, hey, buy some put options that expire in the next couple months. As long as this blue line remains below the black line, the market's going to start moving lower. And you see, just over this period of time here, just about a week's worth of trading, the market moved down 4 or 5% just off that gap and that move. So a really nice opportunity there, about a 10% decline there in JM Smucker. Last but not least here, again with the financials. So if you want to go ahead and hedge your portfolio, find some great places to be short the market. Let's say you're long Stratasys or long some individual stocks out there. Well, where can you play off of some of that market weakness? Well, here in Goldman, crossover to the downside, again, all the way at the beginning of March, warning you of this weakness that we'd see in these stocks. And that trend has continued. So right now, the market's down over 14%. And you see just how violent this has gotten over the course of this trade when you get that excessive weakness with the neural index and the trends down. You're getting a lot of weakness in this market. And so the last thing you want to be doing is trying to buy into any of these financial stocks when VantagePoint is saying, no, now is not the time. Make sure you exploit these markets to the downside. And you see, that's where all the opportunity has been. So, really regardless of, what the S&P 500 is doing or what the broader markets are doing, even when they're running flat, there's some markets that are performing really well, other markets that are very weak and getting hammered, but you can go ahead and short the market and really profit from these sorts of opportunities, regardless of what's going on with the broader markets and the broader indices. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave them below. Also, be sure to watch the previous playlists of the previous Hot Stocks Outlook so you can follow along and really understand how this technology found in the VantagePoint software can really give you an advantage there. So once again, this has been the Hot Stocks Outlook for April 21st, 2017. Best of luck out there in the markets. Thank you all for watching, and bye for now.